When a life that was once broken has not only received complete healing, but has grown to hold the capacity to love and to give what is the highest destination of that journey. What kind of love could move a person to willingly lay down everything, remaining faithful even through the deepest darkness? Hello, brothers, sisters, and dear friends. Peace be with you. I am David, and it is my absolute joy to welcome you to Lesson 8, the grand finale of our Song of Songs series. In our last lesson, we watched the woman be formed into a noble daughter of the king, her inner world overflowing with fine wine and wheat, as she took her beloved's hand and walked out into the countryside and villages to nourish weary lives. Today, we step into the highest point of the entire song, living in love, living for love. Together, we will see how a life completely united with God begins to pour itself out, not from duty, but from fullness. We will witness a declaration of love that has echoed across all of human history, and we will see how a transformed life hands over beautiful fruit, becoming a song that glorifies God and awakens hope in others. As we enter chapter 8, the relationship between the woman and her beloved is no longer hidden. She longs to openly display this love in every corner of her life without reservation. Then a tender conversation unfolds about her little sister. "We have a little sister, and her breasts are not yet grown. What shall we do for our sister on the day she is spoken for? If she is a wall, we will build towers of silver on her. If she is a door, we will enclose her with panels of cedar." Song of Songs, chapter 8, verses 8 and 9. This little sister represents those whose lives have not yet matured, whose hearts are still marked by insecurity, still without the inner stability to protect what is precious to them. Look at the beauty of this transformation. The woman herself was once exactly like this little sister, vulnerable, deeply insecure, unable to keep her own vineyard. Yet now, living securely in love and fully healed, something remarkable rises within her, a deep longing for others. Rather than immersing herself in her own happiness, she looks around at those still in pain and confusion, and she wants to help them. She gently maps out a plan. If this little sister's heart is like a fragile wall, we will build upon it a firm, silver tower of truth to protect her from being deceived. If her boundaries are like a door too easily pushed open, we will surround her with noble cedar panels to help her stand secure. My dear friends, this is what it looks like to love others as yourself. When you have walked out of the mud, something shifts. You stop resenting your past. Your old wounds become a quiet empathy, a knowing that enables you to truly understand those who are still struggling. You find yourself longing for those still in the mire to receive the same freedom you now carry. You want to see them become just as beautiful as you are becoming. As the beloved watches the woman care so tenderly for those around her, he gazes at her with deep delight, and she responds with quiet, settled certainty. "I am a wall, and my breasts are like towers. Thus I have become in his eyes like one who brings contentment." Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 10. One who brings contentment. She is saying, in his eyes I have found wholeness. I no longer need to prove myself to anyone. I no longer need the world's approval to feel secure. I know who I am, because I know whose I am. And it is precisely from this place of rest that as she ascends from the wilderness, leaning on her beloved, those who see her are moved. Who is this coming up from the wilderness, leaning on her beloved? Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 5. The wilderness represents everything hard and refining in life. She walked through seasons of low self-worth, the grief of closed doors, and the pain of being misunderstood and wounded. But she never walked alone. She leaned. The most powerful testimony is never a polished performance. It is the simple, visible sight of someone who has walked through a broken marriage, a health crisis, or a season of deep darkness and came through it still leaning on God, somehow radiating a light they did not manufacture. When others see that, something stirs in them, not admiration for you, but a quiet hunger for the God you lean on. Your wilderness does not disqualify you, it equips you. Here at the heart of chapter 8, the Song of Songs arrives at its most breathtaking declaration. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm, for love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like blazing fire, like a mighty flame, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, rivers cannot sweep it away. If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned. Song of Songs, chapter 8, verses 6 and 7. The flame of the Lord. This love does not originate in us. It comes from God Himself, an eternal fire that no flood can drown, no loss can extinguish, no amount of wealth can purchase. But I want to pause here because these words are not merely poetry, they are prophecy. The Song of Songs declares that love is as strong as death. But history shows us something even greater. Love is stronger than death. 2,000 years ago, the ultimate beloved, Jesus Christ, did not stand at a safe distance from our wilderness. He stepped into it. He walked through betrayal, abandonment, and suffering. He entered death itself. And on the third day, He walked out. The cross did not disprove this love, it proved it. The grave could not hold it. The resurrection declared once and for all, the love of God is not merely as strong as death, it is stronger. Every river of sorrow that has ever threatened to sweep you away, His love has already crossed it. Every darkness that has ever told you it was over, He has already been through it and come out the other side, carrying you with Him. This is the love the woman has been living in. This is the love she now carries into the lives of others. In the final verses, the woman does something profound and quiet. She hands over the fruit of her life. Solomon had a vineyard in Baal Hamon, but my own vineyard is at my disposal. Song of Songs, chapter 8, verses 11 and 12. Do you remember her voice in chapter 1? My own vineyard I have not kept. Song of Songs, chapter 1, verse 6. That was the woman at the beginning, ashamed, exhausted, having spent herself for everyone else while losing hold of her own heart and her own life. But now, at the end of the journey, she stands in a completely different place. She has not only cared faithfully for the king's vineyard, she has also tended her own heart, her own home, her own life, and cultivated it into something beautiful, something she can freely offer back. This is the full circle. She was a victim who could not keep her vineyard. She becomes a woman who hands over abundant, beautiful fruit. Not as an achievement, not to prove something, but as the most natural thing in the world, the overflow of a life that has been loved and made whole. In the final 2 verses, the Beloved calls out to her, "You who dwell in the gardens, with friends in attendance, let me hear your voice." And she responds, "Come away, my beloved, be like a gazelle on the spice-laden mountains." The entire book closes in the middle of a conversation, a voice calling, a voice responding, an invitation still open, a love still moving. Perhaps today you still feel like the girl in chapter 1, wounded, insecure, unable to keep your own vineyard. That's all right. The Song of Songs begins there too. But it does not end there. The God who loves you holds a love that is stronger than death, a love that no flood has ever drowned. He is drawing you out of the low places, inviting you into His presence, and shaping you gently and faithfully into someone beautiful. One day you too will come up from the wilderness, leaning on your Beloved, and the life you have lived, the honest, leaning, imperfect life, will become a song that points others to Him. This is what it means to live in love and to live for love. Thank you for walking this entire journey with us, all 8 lessons, every step of the way. May the grace and love of God be with you always. Goodbye.